What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here with College Admission Secrets. Welcome back to another training. This week, we're going to talk about the best activities for your student to start in the fall. Whether you're watching this live, this is the upcoming fall 2024, or if you're watching this in the future, this training is going to be perfect for you. So, we are wrapping up another amazing summer season right now, and we're about to enter law students started school this past week. Law students are starting school next week, and a lot of other students will be starting school in the upcoming weeks as well. So as we're wrapping up summer, as summer comes to an end, we kind of start to look forward to the next school year where it all begins again for our families. We have students moving into high school for the very first time. We have students going to 10th, 11th, 12th grade as well, which is moving on up. And then with our 12th graders, they are entering another season, a college application season. Again, I always call it the emotional roller coaster, for our families, because the feels are gonna keep coming, right? The highs and the lows are gonna keep coming for our seniors there. But today, it's going to be more for a lot of the underclassmen, our incoming 9th graders, incoming 10th graders, incoming 11th graders, trying to find a way to make their application stand out even more. And one of the best ways to stand out in your application is through your activities. If it's your very first time joining us, my name is Coach Tony. I'll be your host for today's training. Fun fact, I was actually a former UC Berkeley admissions reader. That meant if your students submitted their apps a long time ago, I was one of the people who read the applications. I recommended yes to a few, recommended no to a lot more. And during that process, you start to understand what really is important in the admissions process, right? Admissions are looking for certain things and they're not looking for other things. So a lot of things that people think is important sometimes isn't, right? So again, for those, if you're joining us live here in this group, you're currently in the UC Admissions Secrets Facebook group. This group is probably the largest Facebook group when it comes to UC admissions out there. And like every single year, right? Every single year around April, I can pretty much call it to the dot. We get a lot of angry families. A lot of angry families are like, I don't know why my kid didn't get in. They are uber smart. They did so many crazy things on their apps and they didn't get in. And to that, I always take a peek. I'm going to show me what your kid's doing. And for the most part, a lot of people say, my child's doing a lot. But the real question I ask, are they doing a lot of the right things? Because doing a lot of the wrong things is just as bad as doing nothing at all. So my goal with this training is to help you guys make sure when you start off this fall quarter, this fall semester, you guys are going to kick it strong with your students to help out there. In the chat, if you're joining us here live from Facebook or Zoom, drop in the chat what grade you guys are in. Or do we have any incoming 9th, any 10th, 11th, even 12th grades? You might even have some even younger ones as well too in the middle school families. Go ahead and drop it in the chat so I can kind of see where you guys are at coming in. We got lots. We got community college as well too in here, right? Lots of 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders as well too. Seniors as well. Beautiful, right? If you're a senior, by the way, last week we did a really amazing training. I walked through the entire UC application line by line. We released a bunch of freebies and goodies. So if you guys need that replay, need that, go ahead, let me know at the end, and we can connect you with our team to get you those resources too, okay? But today, let's jump straight into today's training. Let me know if you guys can see the screen. I'm actually, for those who are here in Zoom, I'm actually going to give you guys access to my docs real fast as well too. I'm dropping it in the chat. Oh, oops. Boom. Dropping it in the chat. If you guys want to tune in live, hang out with me here in the Google Doc as well too. People said, yes, love the last session as well too. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this, right? So in terms of activities, let's first do some theory first. Let's take a step back. Let's talk about activities at a high level. Is that font good enough? Is that too small? For those who are joining us, let me know if that is too small. Should I do bold? Is that going to be a little easier to read if it's bolded? right? Let me know so I can see. It looked good for me. I always have a tiny font for me myself. So whatever works good, you guys let me know there. Okay. So when it comes to activities, there's kind of three components of the application process that's really, really important. You got, oops, nope, not everything copied over. Right? There you go. So there's going to be your academics, your activities, and then your applications itself. These are the three A's we always call it that kind of makes or breaks your application, right? We're not going to talk about academics today. We talked about applications next week, last week already. Today we're going to focus on this middle, right? Which is the activities itself, right? Activities is in terms of like what's more important. The activities is going to be more important than your academics, right? And probably not as important as your application, aka the essays, right? The essays, right? But it is going to be important to make sure we get correct. So one of the big things right away to keep in mind is that kind of ratio right here. This is less than this. We always tell our students, right? You want to spend more time on your activities than your academics itself, right? So that's the big thing. You see a lot of people spend a lot of time just on school. Yes, it is important, but again, how do you stand out? Right, you stand out with your activities itself, right? So let's break it out a little bit, right? So a lot of people are like, Coach Tony, when every time we ask families, I'm like, how many activities does your child do? Actually, let's do a quick little poll. Let's do a quick little poll in the chat since we have the chat here live. Let me know. Let me know if so you would say video is super blurred. So I'm assuming is not good. Let me go ahead and let's try this. Try this. Looks like the video is not good. Folks over here, let me know as well too. Here's what I'll do. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Those in Zoom, is that more clearer? Is that more clearer for those of you in Zoom? Right? Beautiful. Way better. Way better. All right. Try to be fancy. Couldn't be fancy. Try to be fancy, but never works out. All right. So really quick in the chat, right? Let me guys know in an average week about how many hours would you say that your child spends on activities? Typical week, Monday to Sunday, right? About how many hours would you guys say? 5? Would you guys say 10? Would you guys say 15? Would you guys say 20? More than that. Go ahead in the chat, drop that really quick. I'm gonna check in on Facebook to make sure they can still see the video as well too, to make sure all is good in the hood. I'm not sure if it's going live on Facebook or not, but regardless, right over here on Zoom, fit 10. I see not ranges here, right? There's 5, there's 2, there's a 10, 15. Some has 20, some has 25. Fit 10, 15. Traveling week 20. Awesome, right? So some quick. I call it Mickey Mouse math. Some quick Mickey Mouse math right now, right? In an average week, right? Your child has 168 hours. That's 24 hours per day times 7 days a week. That's 168 hours right over here, right? They need to sleep, right? You need to sleep 8 hours a night times 7, which is 56. Trust me, I know your child does not do 56. They don't sleep 8 hours a night, but let's assume that because they should, right? We're really big on self-health, right? As well too. So 56 hours there. You're down to what? 115, 112 hours remaining as well too, right? During a typical week, you're probably in school for approximately 30 hours. Oops, 30 hours, right? That's 5 hours a day, 5 days times 6 hours a week, right? They're probably doing homework, right, for like 15 hours, right? That's like 3 hours a day times 5, right? So that's 45 hours gone. 112 minus 45 is equals to 67 hours left, right? Then let's say they got to, I call it me time, right? Me time, again, students are still kids, right? So they're still gonna have some fun. So again, I give them an hour and a half. I'm just having some fun. So an hour and a half times 7 hours, 10 hours there. There's also what? There's also like restroom, dinner, etc. time as well too, right? Let's say it's an hour times 7. That's 7 hours there. So you now have 67 minus 10.5 minus 7. you still have like over 50, around 50-ish hours left, right? You can add a few more time there as well. But that's pretty much the non-negotiables of your day, right? Of your week. I mean, you have your school, you got your sleep, you got your food, you got your me time, the TikTok scrolling, right? That's what the me time is. You have a lot of hours left, right? So for those of you who shared, hey, I have less than only 5 hours a week. I ask if five, right? What are they doing with the other 45 hours as well too, right? If they're doing 10, what are you doing with the other 40 hours? Right. And you can kind of see the pattern here, right? So jumping straight to what we like to recommend to our families, right? If you're aiming for a UC school, UC campus, right? We like to see 20 plus hours of activities per week. This is a consistency per week throughout the year. If you're aiming for schools like UCLA or UC Berkeley, all right, our students have 30 plus hours of activities per week. And then look at the math. The math shows you still have 20 hours free after that as well too, right? So now let's break it down, because I know in the chat is going like, holy moly, how do you make up 25, 30 hours, right? Let's define what activities is, right? I think that will help you guys out a lot. So first thing, what is activities? Activities is how you spend your time, right? A lot of people think it's what you do, right? People always think it's what you do as a definition, right? And the answer, it could be, but there's a lot of things law students kind of ignore and forget when it comes to this. That is not just what do you do. For example, right? Does your child have any hobbies? Right? In the chat, let me know. Does your child have any hobbies that they do? You can say yes, you can say no, as well, right? In the chat, right? People say yes, right? Here's a fun fact for you guys. Hobbies counts as an activity, right? Let me see what else. Responsibilities, right? Does your child have responsibilities either at home, at school, or their communities as well too, right? Yes, responsibilities are activities as well too, right? Let's say I saw a few sports ones, right? Like, oh, we had to go play sport. You probably have to go to sport back and forth. That commute time you have, does that count? Yes, that counts as part of your activity hours that you spent during that thing that you do as well. Because if it didn't count, was that fall under the sleeping time? Does that fall under homework time? No, right? That's part of the activity hours itself. So again, like I said, when I ask 20 to 30 hours minimum per week, is that hard? Not really, right? Is the biggest thing here, right? So now that we kind of broken down the hours, let's talk about the actual what that you guys all came for here today. So today we're going to talk about a few. I'm going to focus on three. I'm going to focus on three big ones that I think will be really, really cool and fun for you guys to chat about. Someone asked for the doc. Let me go ahead and give you guys access. For those who joined a little late, if you guys want to tune along, hang out, right, go ahead and drop that in the chat there, right? Let's talk about some fun things, right? So I'm going to give you guys three things you guys can do this upcoming fall, right? Three things you can do this fall, right? So you guys have basically no excuses. That's the thing. Every single year, people make excuses. I'm like, no, there's no need to make excuses. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Number one, right? Clubs, right? Let's talk about clubs as well, right? So people do clubs. Really quick in the chat, is any of your kids currently in any clubs? Let me know if your kids are currently in any clubs right now. We have around 230 people here live. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for joining us this evening. So awesome. We got people in clubs. Awesome, fantastic, right? Many clubs as well too. Cool. So really quick, what is a club for those who do not know? I would say it's a gathering of students to engage in a particular activity, right? So that's probably the best way to kind of explain it, right? Because if you think about like ASB, there's a group of people, they come together, they put on events, right? There's what Key Club, they're a group of people come together, they talk and they volunteer and they do things as well too, right? There's student unions, they come together, talk about issues and do that. Speech and debate, they come together, they practice for speech and debate. Robotics, they come together, they do robotic stuff, right? So it's basically coming together and doing things as well too, right? So that is the club, right? One thing that a lot of people always like say, like, oh no, once like the club rush time is over, I gotta wait a whole year. Coach Tony, I can't join the club. I gotta wait a whole year. I'm like, why do you gotta wait a whole year for? And they're like, oh, because the club's not open. Quote unquote, the club is not open as well, too. And I'm like, you're to tell me you can't find a gathering of students to do an activity. You have to wait a full year. So here's what happened, right? If you guys can kind of don't probably bad memories, but thinking back to 2020, right? Here's what happened in 2020. The world shut down. For those who didn't know, the world shut down. Everything went online. Everything went online. A lot of students, right, stopped everything they were doing that year. Our students, the minute that happened, right, I sent a mass message to every single person. We jumped on an emergency Zoom call and we were like, here's what we're going to do with all of our students, right? Your clubs were the first thing that were affected by the shutdown of everything. However, who's to tell you you couldn't do what you did online, right? So the idea kind of was born, and over the last few years, our students have went hard on this topic. I'm going to introduce you guys to a concept today called virtual clubs. Has anyone heard of a virtual club before? Introducing virtual clubs, right? It's a concept. Right? It's a few no's in the chat, right? It's a concept. I don't know if I don't think I created. I just kind of used that word as well too, right? Basically, it's a club online. That's literally all the difference is, right? Because in a club, what do you need, right? What do you need? There's two things. There's content and there's community, right? Think about any club you're in at school right now, right? ASB, content, putting on events, community, the ASB class, orchestra, right? The group of orchestra, there's the musical instruments, there's the people coming together for that. There's, what is there? Key club, there's people coming together, the content, volunteering, giving back as well too. Those are the two components that make up every single club. So I'm like, what's stopping you from doing that in an online setting? Right? So the thing about virtual clubs is you're able to replicate what you're doing in person, but online as well too, right? Replicate what you're doing in person, but online itself. So what we're gonna do is teach you guys how to create one right now, right? It's gonna be a super, super fun activity as well too, because one of the biggest issues of a traditional club is size, right? How big can your club get? Coach Tony, I want to create this plant club. We talk about plants. I was like, awesome, as well too. Like, hey, let's go make it happen. You probably have to go to your school, talk to a teacher, get your teacher to approve it, talk to your school, get your school to approve it. And once you get it all ready, you have to find people now. And how big can these really get? Really quick in the chat, if you guys can let me know how big are the biggest clubs in your school? Like how like think of the biggest club, about how many people do we have, right? How many people can you think of in your club at the school? I'm seeing here 20, I'm seeing 30, 25, Swan says 50, right? Yeah, so in that range, right? Some schools might be a little bigger, some schools might be a little smaller, but that's kind of the range that I see as well too. Now here, let's think 5. this biggest club is 5, right? So let's think about this way. When you don't limit it to just your school, right? When you remove the restriction of your school, how big can you get this as well too? How big can you get this club if you remove the restriction of your school, right? So here's an example. Here's a case study that we had a few years ago. So yeah, this happened literally pandemic, right? Shut down everything. So with all of us who were like, cool, how do we turn your club, right? How do we turn your club to a virtual club was the goal for every student himself. So one of our students, he had a chess club, right? So he had a chess club. If you guys did that or at your school, basically they just play chess. They literally meet during lunchtime. They play chess. That's all they do as well, right? So we're like, cool. Is that all you do? He's like, yeah, we just literally meet once a week and play chess. I'm like, cool. What else do you do besides that? He's like, oh yeah, we just might talk about chess strategies throughout the week, but it's mainly just coming to play chess. I'm like, cool. Can we do that online? Is what I asked the student. They were like, yep, we could. I was like, is there a website that where you can match people up, like create like a private server, and you can connect people up to play chess games, right? Because they had like mini tournaments and stuff as well too. So if you could control who it is, right, that's a good thing too. They're like, yeah. I'm like, awesome. Let's do it as well too, right? So here's the tactical how to, right? So one, you have the idea of this student for us, the chess club. I'm like, now you need that community, right? How do you do community? What's a group you can put stuff together? For those who have heard of Discord, Discord is a great online community. There's Facebook groups, but it's more for the parents. Parents do Facebook groups. Students are in Discord. So I definitely recommend Discord for students to do there. Students already know what Discord is. It's a really, really easy transition for them there, right? So I would go with the Discord option is what you do there. Cool. Now, right, the content. Right? How do you do the content as well too? So basically, what this student did, they brought in some of their friends from the chess club, like, hey, school shut down, let's still play chess. Join my server here, right? So got friends to join the server, right? Then what's their thing? So once a week, literally once a week, they meet and play chess games as well too, right? They found a website, you connect people back and forth, and they play chess and they just chat. After they chat the whole week, you have the Discord just chitty chat back and forth with each other about chess related things. They ended up also interviewing some masters, some grandmasters. They brought them on. They did a quick Q&A call as well too. How cool is that? But here's the crazy part. This student at their school, I think it was like 10, 15, I forgot the number, right? But 10, 15 people at their club doing chess club overnight, not that, probably like over a month. Over a month, it started growing extremely fast, right? So towards the end, this student went from 15 people in person. By the end, I think it was like 3-4 months later, there was over 2,000 people in the club as well too. Question for you, right? If you saw a student share on their app, I run a club of over 2,000 people, would that raise some eyebrows? Would that be like, ooh, that's different. That's new, right? That's not the same thing as everyone else. Again, the whole idea of standing out, right? Standing out, literally do something different than everyone else, right? So the idea is a student put his chess club together and it grew to over 2,000 people. And again, for everyone here is watching, this is something you can do right now, tonight. You don't need to wait for anything else, right? Easiest way, turn your current club to a virtual club and start growing that way. You're not restricted by your school. You don't have the bureaucracy of the school saying you can't do this because it's the internet. You can do whatever it is. But keep in mind, it is survival of the fittest on the internet. So if you are good, you are good. If you're bad, you are bad. That's how life it really is, right? So that's gonna be the biggest things there. So virtual clubs is one of those really, really cool ideas that I think is really easy to start. It is gonna be tough to keep growing. So that is the caveat. So this is one of the easiest to start. It is gonna be a little tough to grow unless you kind of crack the how do I grow this out as well too. So that is number one, creating a virtual club. And again, I think anyone here can do it. There's nothing that you can't. Everything is free. Doesn't cost you any money as well too. Right. Idea number two, right? This upcoming fall, right? An internship. Is it okay if I teach you guys how to get an internship without any connections? Let me know in the chat, right? Can I teach you how to get an internship without any connections as well? To let me know in the chat if that's okay with you guys. And again, same thing. You can do this as any grade, 9, 10, 11th, or 12th grade as well too. By the way, Coach Victor and I actually did this training like 3-4 weeks ago. So I'm going to steal from him, by the way. So if you heard his talk, he went way more in detail. He gave like examples. He gave screenshots of everything. So if you guys need that, definitely hit me up after. I'll grab you that. Not me. I'll have our team send you that replay as well too. But let's talk about it, right? What's an internship? What is an internship? Again, what's an internship? It is hands-on experience in a field, right? That's it. That's literally what an internship is. People make it too complicated than what it is as well too. By definition, if you Google it, internship is hands-on experience, right, in a field. So how do you get hands-on experience, right? You go to people, right? So how do we get this, right? Find people who have the experience and ask. That's it. That is the answer for you guys right away. So, Coach Tony, I want the more tact. Give me the step by step, right? Let's go for it. Let's go for it step by step, right? Someone give me. I'll do it live in front of you guys. Someone give me a profession. Give me a career, a field. It's something you would like to get an internship in. Right in the chat, let me know if there's a field you guys would like to get an internship opportunity from, as well too. All right, some good ones are here. We got what field do you want your internship to be in? Right. So I see some good ones. I see cinema. I see law, art, dermatology, dermatology, finance, aerospace, business, lots of laws. Let's go ahead and go with law. I see law kind of won everything as well too, right? So let's go with law as well too, right? So I'm assuming like law, lawyer, this type of stuff as well too, right? So let's assume law, right? So step number 2, right? You ask yourself who would have the experience in this field. So in the chat, we'll do this live, right? Who do you think has the most experience or does this every day? Law. Who does law every day? Right? In the think who does whatever the field you try to do. Who does law? Who works with law? Who deals with law? Lawyers. Lawyered, right? Lawyers as well too. Done. Step number 2, right? Got DAs. Let's go next one. Yeah, guys, you guys gave me a lot of answers. DAs, judges, right? As well too. Awesome. We nailed down the next job titles. These are basically job titles that have this this role. Step number 3. Again, we don't have the connections. We need to find these people. Right? Does anyone know where to find these people? Let me go. Can everybody see my new screen? I'm sharing a tab. Sharing a new tab real fast as well, too. Right? Coach David, actually, fun fact for those who don't know, Coach David was actually a former lawyer himself. Coach David's here. Shout out to Coach David. Right? I'm gonna go LinkedIn.com. Right? I'm going LinkedIn.com. What's LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a professional Facebook that you can filter by stuff. So let's say, for example, I'm looking for a lawyer, right? I look up the word lawyer. I'm going to look up the word people, and I'm going to look up, these are people. So then I will recommend looking up LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, the role, people. The crazy thing about LinkedIn, people love bragging about their jobs all the time. Really quick little pause. It is 6:30. Technically, time is over. Can I continue? I'm almost done with this. I have number 3, I think, which you guys will think is really, really good as well, too. So is it okay if I go a little over today? Let me know in the chat. Yes, if I can finish up the number 2 and go on to number 3. If you give me a yes in the chat. All right, really quick. By the way, is it anyone's first call with us today? Drop a 1. Drop a 1 if it's your very first call with us. Drop a number 2 if you're one of our veterans. And for number 1s, hope you enjoy. Wow, we got a lot of number 1s today. Hope you guys are enjoying the call so far here. All right, so going back, by the way, I'm going to assume permission. 4. You've been here like oodles for a time. So, all right, so let's go. We go to LinkedIn role people. So these people right over here are lawyers, right? Or they're saying they're lawyers as well too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through these people, right? And the thing about here, when you do LinkedIn, is by location too. You can filter by local people near you, right? So these are people, and the number right here, the first, second, third. First means I directly know who they are. Number 2 is I know somebody who knows who they are. If there's a number 3, it's I know somebody who knows somebody who knows them, right? So that's kind of how LinkedIn works, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, go through here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the first page, right? I'm gonna open the first page. I'm gonna open new tabs. Right over here. I'm opening like 5 people, so you guys can kind of see that, right? First thing, I'm gonna go first. Chris Brown, not the singer, right? Chris Brown as well too. I'm gonna scroll down, right? For those of you, by the way, who like, hey, I want to be a lawyer. What should I do? What should I study? This is a really good way to do research. So our seniors, by the way, all our seniors out there, if you're not sure what to do, this is a great like weekend activity. Go through people's job titles and stuff and kind of see what schools they went to, what majors they did, to give you a better idea of kind of what it looks like. Because again, in life, they teach you never copy in school. In the real world, your goal is to copy from the best and smartest people you know. That's the secret about life right there, right? So this person right here, you can see what's a smarty pants. Went to community college, went to Oxford, then went to University of Tampa, got a bachelor's, then got the JD from Berkeley as well too, right? So this person, that's their journey there, and then you can kind of see their career journey, right? Career journey from what they did, right? There was an intern, then attorney, then general counsel, senior counsel, general counsel, associate general counsel, as well as Virgin Galactic. So cool, right? So you can see what they're doing here. And they've been working here for 8 months now, right? Next person, right? Lauren's actually my buddy as well too. Just haven't connected with them yet, right? You can kind of see this person went to UCLA geography major. Holy moly. You're telling me geography major can end me up as a lawyer? Indeed, this person has done it as well too, right? So geography as at UCLA, end up getting JD from USF. Next person, real fast, showing you guys this up. Went to Berkeley, political economy. That's actually my major from Berkeley. Ended up being a lawyer. I should have been a lawyer. Just kidding. And next one, this person went to Berkeley, political science, ended up going to Michigan for law school. Last example for us today, this person, poli sci from Berkeley, ended up getting their law degree JD from Davis. So again, some interesting schools to kind of think about if you haven't thought about these schools yet. But what I'm going to look at is these people, right? This person's been working here for a year-ish. This person's been working as an associate right now for 2 years here. This person right here has been working deputy city attorney of San Jose for over a year now, and this person is currently working as a litigation attorney for like 5 months now as well too, right? So these people are doing what I'm hoping to do or looking to do in the future. So who would know more about that field, that career, than these people themselves? So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reach out to them, right? Think about LinkedIn. You can go ahead and send them a message as well. So you can send them a message as well, right? If you can't send them a message, there's a way to connect with them. And when you connect with them, you can add a note, which allows you to send a little message to them as well, too. Or you can go ahead and just find them because, again, they're probably professional. You can probably go Google their name a little bit, look this up. I can probably find, again, this person works for the city of San Jose. I can probably look them up and find their email as well, too. So going back, right, you're going to go ahead and connect with them, right? Connect with them as well too. Step number 4, do we ask for an internship? In the chat, let me know. I found them people now. Do I ask them for an internship? Yes or no right now? Yes or no? Do I ask, yo, can I get an internship? And answer is no, right? Do not ask them. What you want to do is ask to chat. Ask to learn. Here's why it works. Adults love to help kids. It's like a fact of life. I've always learned this, right? Parents, if you see a little kid falling on the ground, you will try to help them up as well. You're not going to just point and laugh. You're going to pick them up, help them out the best they can. Adults have this natural affinity to help younger students. So if a younger student is asking for help, an adult typically tends to like, oh, how can I help as well too? So you are not asking for an internship opportunity. We're asking, hey, right? I would love to learn more about your field. I want to be a lawyer myself. I see that you went to Berkeley. That's my dream school. Go Bears, right? I would love to learn more about your journey, right? You're approaching it as a position of learning, right? From the other person. Do you think If a student asks them like, hey, again, parents, think about yourself. If a high school student asks you, hey, I really look up to you, I see that you're doing this, I want to do this, do you think I can spend like a quick 10-minute on Zoom just to learn more about what you do every day, what how college was like? Because I'm not there yet. I want to learn from you. Do you think an adult is more likely to say yes to that logic? People say yes, right? Exactly, right? So again, that's the trick here. We don't ask for the internship, we ask to the opportunity to ask for the opportunity to chat, right? As well too. Then once you get the chat, right, then you get selfish, right? Step number 5, right? You tend to be selfish plus, right, selfless. This is the fun mix of both, right? The fun mix of both. You're gonna be selfish and selfless in your conversation with that person. Be selfish and ask what you want to learn. Ask what you want to know about that field, because most likely a lot of students don't really know, right? Talking to a lot of students, like, you guys don't even know what med school is like, because you guys are saying really funny things that sound funny because, again, you don't know any better, right? But once you understand stuff, you're like, oh yeah, you wouldn't say stuff like that. Or law or engineering, all these fields as well too, right? So be selfish first. Ask, what is life like? What is this? Because once you find out, you're like, ooh, do I really want to do this or not, right? At the end, you want to be selfless, right? How can you help them, right? In every career, right? There's always something that the person needs to do that they do not like to do or do not want to do, but it's not going to be so significant that it's going to break things, right? So your goal is to identify that thing. What is something they would need help with that you can help them with? And here is when you volunteer to help them out for free as well too. Hey, I noticed that you told me that you're having struggle with this. I'm really good at that. Again, you be good, don't lie, right? I'm actually really good at that. Do you think I can help you out with that? Or hey, I can volunteer my time here. Hey, can I spend my Saturdays helping you out with this project here that you're working on as well too, right? Could they say no? Yes, they could definitely say no, right? But your goal as you filter through this process, right? How many people do we need to say yes, everyone? Only one. As long as one person says yes to you, you just land yourself. You found yourself an internship, right? That's it. You're doing hands-on work in that field of that too. Okay. So that's the other option. Someone asks, is it too late? No, right? Again, you gotta work fast though. Okay, you gotta work really fast of this, but it's worked. I've seen a student, our record, by the way, of a student who started and got it 3 hours. We did a workshop last year. We did a workshop last year with students on step by step. Here's the scripts. Go make it happen. And within 3 hours, one of our students got a internship at a VR company as well too. Super super awesome. So again, could you move fast? You could move really, really fast again. So it's that. Again, also, there's nothing here you couldn't do, right? All this is still doable stuff. There's no need for money. You don't have to pay anyone to do this. You can do it yourself. It does take work though, right? So it's not like it's no work. It is work to be done. But that's option number 2. Option number 3 that I have for you guys before I leave you guys adieu, right, is the idea of a personal projects, right? AKA passion projects that people talk about, right? Really quick, has anyone thinking about starting one or anyone like working on one right now? These kind of personal projects, passion projects, as well too. Let me know. People say yes. People know what they are. Awesome, awesome, right? So here's, let me go tell you my my little spiel with this. I do not like the word passion projects. All right. What ends up happening is students do stuff to look good. That's it, right? What's something fancy I can do to make it look really, really good? And they do that. And here is how we know it is not, right? When you're a senior, right? When you're a senior, right? And we help you with your essays, with your college essays in quotes, for those who know, right? Essays. We keep asking you why, right? Why? Why did you do that? Huh? Why did you want to do that next thing? Huh? Why that though? Right? So we keep asking why, and then for a lot of students, not a lot, certain students, they get stuck, right? When students get stuck, there's usually one reason why they're stuck. They did it to look good for college. It's not a bad thing, right? However, if you are doing it to look good, there's other kids doing it to look good. There are students who are doing something because they truly are interested. There's truly who they are as a person. And I can tell you for a fact that someone's passion and willpower will outbeat anything that looks good any day of the week. Right. So when it comes to this, I never like the word passion project because realistically, a student who's 14 to 18 years old has no clue what they're passionate about. Also, a lot of adults, you have no clue what you're passionate about also either. Right. So instead, we like to have students think of a personal project. Right. Personal project is what is something personal to you that you lose all track of time doing, right? For us, we define a personal project as a student directed, and a student run initiative that affects a community. That's how we define a personal projects for our students, right? It's something that you started. You like, hey, I'm gonna create this project. Doesn't mean you can't do it with someone else. No, you mean you were the one who started initiating this, right? It's student directed. You're not having someone else tell you what to do. You are the ones calling the shots of every single step of the way. And it is student run, right? You're not bringing in adults to help you with the thing. You could, but it's still majority student run the entire effort. And the most important thing, it has to affect a community. And that's the fun part. The community is a very broad term. Community could mean your family. Community could mean your neighborhood. It could mean your school, could mean your city. Some of our students, by the way, this past month, we launched something called the Personal Project Incubator with some of our coaching families, which we may, by the way, open up again next month for those who are interested. But basically, over 30 days, I help students kind of just rattle their ideas and work with them to have them start their 30 days. And it's crazy the projects that our students worked on this past month. One of our students, for example, is creating a NICU community, right? Because right now, if you look it up, there's not a lot of NICU people. These are the prenatal babies that come out before like the usual 9-month term as well, too. There's not a lot of resources for certain families as well, too. And why the students doing it? Why they're creating this sense of resource stuff? They were a NICU baby, right? And their parents struggled with finding the resources for this, right? How strong can they talk about this topic? We have another student who's doing a really, really cool initiative of recycling tennis balls as well too, right? So far, and he's doing collecting tennis balls and recycling them to be used for other students, right? So far, the student last month, we started a month ago, he already collected 5,000 tennis balls. And that's just the beginning. With him, he's going national. He's going really big. So when you talk about these students and their personal projects, right, they are crazy. All of our students have their own unique project because again, it's unique just to you, right? Is the biggest thing there. So again, when you guys are thinking about these, and that's the fun part, is that there's no framework, right? The biggest thing that we focus students on, and for you guys, if you guys are doing a personal project, the most important question you're answering is why. Oops, not yes. Why, right? Why are you doing this? Why does this topic matter to you? Because that does not matter to me how impressive it sounds, does not matter to me kind of the scale of how big it could be. If you can't get that one question done correctly, then everything else is useless, right? Everything is useless, right? As well, too, because at the end of the day, this is what we share. For those of you who joined us last week or at the last few weeks, we've been doing a big bunch of trainings on the UC essays and how to share about these. Is never the things that you do. It's always the why, the impact of who it is that you are as a person. That's what readers are truly looking about. And the second thing, right? The second part, why is really important. The why is really important. Is that it's gonna get hard. The personal project is fun for the first 30 days, then it gets really tough because as you the bigger and bigger it gets for students, they're gonna it's too much work now. I'm gonna move aside, do something else. Right? Versus the students who keep moving with their projects, even though it gets hard, it's because there is a deeper why. So when you're doing something because it just looks good for college, that will take you far enough, but you'll get stuck. You'll get plateaued because you're like, it's not as important. There's a reason why our students do so well, because we dialed in this. We spent the majority of the first 3 days dialing in their why. So they know exactly why they're doing it, because the rest of it's easy. The rest of it is, okay, cool, I want to do this. Here's the next steps. Boom, boom, boom. That's the easy part. The hardest part is that identifying the why. Again, full circle moment on your college essays, which are the most important part of your entire essays, or entire application. The why is what readers are truly looking for. It's not the what's, right? Do you need internships? No, you don't need, and most of our students don't have it. They all turned out fine. Do you need research? No, most of our students don't do that. They turn out fine. Do you need summer programs? No, most of our students don't do any of that either, and they still turn out fine. The things are not important. It's the why. Why are you doing that internship, for example? Why are you doing that research? Why are you doing summer programs? Why are you doing the personal project? Why are you doing the clubs? All of these are going to come down to the central why, and that is the big takeaway for all the families who are here, and you guys want to do that. That being said, that those are 3 things you can start. Again, this and also no cost, no cost. I gave you 3 freebies, literal freebies today that you guys can implement right away, that I'm sure can help your students stand out in the admissions process. And these things, not just now, these you can carry on the whole year, next year, year beyond that as well too. Okay, cool. Was that good? You guys like that? Let me know if that was good for you guys. Let me, yes, no, maybe so. All right. I think like I have a few questions here in the chat. We'll go ahead and answer a few of them. I mean, I'm really involved. One of the questions, I'm involved in religious activities at home, at temple, help our ground in mass praise, law, volunteer, or in religions. Isn't hours of credibility attached to my family's very religious? Can I use my advantage? Again, it's not advantage. That's the wrong way to think about it, right? Don't think about advantage, right? But can you share all your hours spent? Yes, right? Because think of it this way. You're spending hours doing this when other people are not. That's the big thing here. Okay, so that's the answer here. Next one, does playing video games, right, consider an activity, right? It depends. That's all too, right? Because it could, for those who don't know, UCI offers a $6,000 annual scholarship to play on their team. Right? If you guys don't believe me, look it up. Google UCI Esports Scholarship. They pay students $6,000 per year to play on their team as well too. So could you make money? Yeah, and that's not including the prize money. If you actually win on behalf of UCI, that's a lot more, between like what, 10,000 to some big ones like $1 million as well too, that they split up over whatever. So it's a huge, it's $1 billion industry that is there, right? So can you can. However, if you're playing just for pure like the me time, right? If it falls under me time, right? Probably not, probably not as great. However, right? Let's play this out of the way. Let's say you are competitive, right? Let's say if you are competitive and you are like ranked, right? AKA ranked. If you are ranked, if you're top 100 in the United States and you're playing actively like that, yes, that is an activity, because again, that is part of who you are, right? Another way to think about it, let's say for those guys who stream, Twitch, YouTube, all of that, right? Or videos, right? On YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram. You're not really playing video games at that point. You are a content creator as well too. So if I was a student, I wouldn't say, hey, I'm not playing video games. I'm just creating content. Because what do you do with the content? You take the content, you tie it with the community. There goes the little virtual club again, right? From above as well too. And you have a whole community that's built on working together, hanging out together, building a sense of community online as well too. Right. So again, so that's the thing there. Okay. Awesome. There's a game room at UCS Senate. Yes, we went there this past 2 weeks ago when we had our event there, and it was awesome, super cool as well. Awesome, perfect. That's pretty much it for this weekend. A few quick announcements since I have you guys still here. Announcements number one. Like I mentioned earlier, last week we did a really cool walkthrough. By the way, for those who need the notes, here's the notes for today. Drop it in the chat. All right, number one, if seniors, right, if you're seniors and we did a replay on the UC application walkthrough, and we also gave a bunch of freebies out, right? We gave freebies out. We gave you the UC tracker, we gave you the activity, the new application workbooks, the Common App workbook, and a few other things as well too. Let me know, either email me, Facebook me. It's probably the fastest way to get to me as well too, and then we'll have that ready for you guys. Number two, we are increasing our coaching programs. So if you guys, I made the announcement beginning this month. Anyone who's interested in working with us, right? I recommendation, join before our price increase on September 1st. This next month, literally. Let me go ahead and grab, if anyone's interested in booking a chat, where is the calendar? You guys can go ahead and book a chat with our team. It's a 15-minute assessment. We literally do not sell you on this call. We're just going to see if we can help you guys out first. And then after that, boom, drop in the chat as well too. If you guys want to go ahead and book that chat there, see if we can help you guys out. And if all goes well, you can definitely set up a second call to talk about our programs. If you guys are interested in that, we take care of you guys from now until graduation itself, with everything in between: college, career, major, academics, activities, essays, college apps, graduation, right? So every single thing is included there. Number three, for any of our upcoming our college app intensive workshops. So for those, it is full. So by now we can't enroll anyone else. But for those who are coming, super sad to come hang out with you guys. We were just at San Diego, finished that weekend. This upcoming weekend, we are in Long Beach. So see those families there. Next week, we're going to be in Los Angeles. Long Beach will be at Long Beach City. Los Angeles will be at UCLA. Super, super pumped for that weekend there. And then we'll be heading up to the Bay Area for San Jose, and then coming back down. Our last one will be in Ontario. So these are all completely full, but you guys are seeing pictures in our group that we've been helping families with these as well too there. We may be releasing next year's seats. So again, don't make mistakes and wait till last minute like a lot of families did. Any of our 2026 families who are interested, we'll probably release it towards the end of the season, so you guys can take a peek at that. We may change up the format, by the way, a little bit also for next year, based on the feedback from this year there. Okay, that is pretty much it for me. Again, seniors, DM me, email me, get the freebies there to help you guys with your college apps. Anybody else, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, if you're interested in working with our team, go ahead and set up a free 15-minute assessment there. And then for anyone we're seeing live at the intensives the next few weeks, definitely be on lookout, be ready. I will be there at all of them. So I'm super excited to connect with you guys there. All right, that is it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys next week. Chat soon, everyone. Bye.